talking about the suffering yesterday, why is the suffering is caused so much and how you can work with that space. It's also, I know this is something that people don't like to hear. Hi, Maria and Sage. So what we are now going to do is, if you really wanted to find the spirit of the purpose of your life, then maybe you also have to let go of what you constantly battling about. Life would have been better if I chose the other job. Life would have been better if I chose the right partner. Life would have been better if I went to another country. Life would have been better if I have moved into another state. All those things, but the polarity of the mind will always constantly will tell you that the decision that you have taken is not correct, and the decision that you didn't take was a path that your peace lies. Hi, Jordan. So let us slowly work on this space so that we can very gently coming into the right path of the practice and allow the practice to lead you on to the purpose of your spirit. Now, purpose of your spirit is before even your identity is there. So let us find a space that you're very gently coming into the practice, very gently you're allowing the breath to come, and very gently finding that seating posture to lift up the space of the heart. Couple of more deep breaths, and very gently we are letting go of the titles and the personal stories that we are holding, and constantly activating this state of neuropaths to go into a habitual pattern. Now, I totally understand if you have a childhood that is very struggling, but if you can't embody it and finding the tools to find the awakening, you will always be that child, no matter what changes that you have work on the surface. So this is just to grow into that adulthood. You have to totally embrace that space and finding the techniques to have the compassion to move on. Now, very gently shoulder roll the shoulders back, open up the chest, and take a deep breath in, and very gently pull the belly in, holding the breath and twisting the spine to the left side, stomach very gently pulling in. I'll move the camera towards Darren. Now take another deep breath in while you're there, and elongate the spine, and very gently breathe out to the left. Again, pull the belly in a little bit more. Shoulders spread and overlooking to the left side. Now take a gentle deep breath and come back into the center and change the formation of the legs. Now elongate the spine and lift up the space of the heart, and very gently take a deep breath in and breath out to the right, stomach very gently pulling in. Another deep breath in and breath out to the right, overlooking to the right shoulder. Very gently opening up the space of the kidneys, and very gently allow that body to open up for the practice into this very moment, so that the first is the movement is aligning you to very gently coming into the space of the practice. Now take a deep breath in, shoulders roll back, arms raise onto the crown, interlacing the fingers, palms facing up very gently. Now very gently drop the shoulders, gently bringing those arms into the back, behind the ears, a little bit behind the ears without tilting the head back. And breathe out, reaching forward, forward, forwards, forward, 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 and very gently touching the floor. Head down, neck down, totally relax. Now take a deep breath in. Very gently allow the spine to roll. And very gently waking up the spine one vertebra at a time. Spine straight. Spine straight. Now take that deep breath in. Arms raised onto the ground and very gently holding onto the right elbow. Holding onto the opposite elbow. Now very gently bring that right elbow behind the head. Very gently opening up the armpit. Now very gently push the head back. Stomach pulled in. Very gently opening up the right rib cage. Soften the face. Allow the breath to move in. Just observe what thoughts passing by. And if you're going to feed it, it will become your story. This is the time you take a break from your identity. Now very gently let go and very gently holding onto the left elbow, bringing the left elbow behind the head and very gently armpit open. Push the head back, pull the belly in, opening up that space. Very gently working on that space. A gentle breath, a gentle realization. Very gently coming back and relax. Now very gently take a deep breath in and stretch both arms into the front, interlacing the fingers. Palms facing into the front. Shoulders relax and chest open. Breathe, pull the belly in. Now very gently turning the right palm facing into the front and very gently stretching those fingers towards you and very gently opening up. Breathe into the space of the knuckles. Breathe into the space of the obstacles and very gently allow the breath to bring that tranquility. Easy to stretch. Check your position. Assess your progress in the body and the mind. Make any corrections to refocus on the practice. Breathing in very gently, relax and move on to the other side. Very gently. Across the arm. Very gently. Observing the breath. There is no destination at this point. It's just the journey. You need to know where you are. Very gently. Breathe. Breath out. Very gently relax. Now very gently coming into a sitting cat. Head down, neck down. Breathing in, shoulders roll back, opening up that chest. Lift up the space into a cow. Very gently allowing that energy of the joy, energy of the equilibrium, energy of the flow, just to be tuned with that. Enhance that aspect of the life. Breathe. Breathe out into a neutral spine. Now very gently coming into a space of stretching that left leg away and keep that right leg into the pigeon pose. This is a great posture to open up the space. Now very gently bring the shoulders parallel to each other. That's the idea. Now take a deep breath in and very gently breathe out. Walk those palms into the front, move those hands into the front. Very gently experiencing that space where you're starting from. Allow those emotions of the place to work for only a small minority into the space of understanding, and then your awareness comes into that space, not to suppress it. So your left brain is analytical and logical, but you're bringing the balance. Bringing the balance. So this is not about finding the denial to have a gentle pause from the life. This is very gently accepting that part of the childhood and reassess and start again. Breathing in very gently, coming back, palms onto the floor, shoulders relax and just open. Now very gently into a plank. Very gently move into a down face and bring that left foot into the front again, into the space of the pigeon pose, and opening up that space of the foot, landing, shoulders, spine, chest, hip, shoulders roll back, look up to the sky, breath out very gently, dropping the elbows, walking into the front, and very gently allowing that energy that is holding somewhere to very deeply finding that space to release it, to flow. Otherwise, we are always trapped in that child, will never become the adult. So some of you might be finding the knees wobbly, hips wobbly. When you open, the openness can come as floodgates. There will be energy uncontrollably unseen, kind of like without the control, it can come. So observe that. It's not about the control. And very gently take that deep breath in, palms facing up, shoulders roll back, and very gently allow the hands to walk back, breathing in, shoulders relax, shoulders roll back into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor, onto the knees, stretch the spine into the back, breathing in, stretch the spine and the hips into the front. Now drop the belly, breathing in into up face. Shoulders relax, opening up the chest. Breathe out towards the down face. Lifting up onto the toes, breathing out, pushing down to the heel. Now left leg up into the back. Left foot over the right hip without bending the knee. Over, opening up the hip. So that's our left leg over the right hip. And left knee onto the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left knee onto the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left foot into the front. Now arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers, bending the knee, just to get that energy, arms raise onto the crown. And 6 deep cycles of breath, wide rotation. Breathing in, raise, breathe out, spread. Breathing in, raise, breathe out, spread. Breathing in, raise. Breathe out, spread. Breathing in, arms raised onto the crown, palms onto the pranam position. Now bend the front knee and work from the back foot. Now very gently allow this opportunity to work with what you're dealing with. It can be frustration for you. It can be a reaction to you. Or it's just you might be not accepting your own emotions. Or it might be the problem that you are upset with being upset. Does that make sense? Now very gently turn onto the right side and very gently opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Now take a mudra that acknowledging all this. So it's not about getting rid of, but you're giving permission to whatever to come up. And you're embodying it. It's not that you want to erase the childhood, erase all the distractions and the pressures, but there is a genuine compassion and understanding of where they were at. So this is a good one, that if you're affected by your parents or partners, they did the best they could. So it's pointless asking them to have the same spirituality what you are now working on. Gentle arch. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Elbow onto the knee. Very gently, right shoulder roll back into the sacrum. And holding into the space of the sacrum. Very gently, when you're ready, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Now make this posture comfortable, because either you can move from this to the Trikonasana, or you can hold this posture gently. And if you feel the energy to move into the front, the arm, then keep the armpit open and very gently having that understanding and stretching the posture in a safe space, and also supporting them with your awareness, what the body and the mind is going through. And very gently allow your shoulders to open up a little bit more rather than carrying the burden in the shoulder. Right reaching into the front and very gently touch the floor. Now very gently left arm reaching up to the ceiling, clenched and unclench, and very gently find the ease and the sense of appropriateness in this posture to breathe very gently. And don't waste your energy attempting to contain your feelings. So where you are at, where you are starting from, acknowledging something is a beginning of an end. Left reaching into the back and touch the floor. Now you're free to move. Plank. Very gently drop the knees. Stretch the spine into the back, into the front, open up the hips. And spread and sit deeper. This is good that you're not becoming stuck in the expression of the painful emotion. So this is acknowledging, then encourage. The practice is an encouragement to ability to move on. Moving on to learn what to do when this is coming up, and putting off all these things into your practice. Now very gently, palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Very gently drop the belly, breathing in into an up face. Shoulders roll back, opening up the chest. Shoulders roll back, elbows pointing into the back. Breathe out towards the down face. Now very gently, right leg up into the back. Once you have settled down into the space, right leg over the left hip if you can. Right knee onto the right chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretching back. Right knee onto the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretching back, stretch back. Right knee onto the left elbow. Breathing in, stretching back, right foot into the front. Arms stretching to the back, arms raise onto the crown, interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. 6 deep cycles of breath. Breathe. As much as imagination is very important for healing, you also understand the imagination is the language of the subconscious mind. So arms raised onto the crown, palms onto the pranam position. So imagination is the language of the unconscious mind. And you are gently involving, activating this part of your being. So it would not be surprising for any negativity we hold internally to be mirrored in the form of image that I am not good enough. I always don't do this correct, that, this. So when you come into that realization, opposite to that is also the release from the unconscious. Turn to the left and opening up into the Virabhadrasana so that you have recognized to address it and transform it. So if this is what you are holding in the unconscious is negative, and you become into the realization of it, it's very highly creative in a personal, in a therapeutic way for you. So to create whatever that you want to be creating. So examine at this time by taking a mudra, very gently look more deeply into the darker side of so-called negative or scary image and learn how you can deal with it. Gentle arch. Breathing in very gently, coming back, elbow onto the knee, left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench, examine, examine, examine. If reaching into the front, touch the floor. The mind functions using the imagination as its language and operate much like a computer. So the old garbage in, garbage out. So the principles still apply. So give your mind vague, indecisive, or inaccurate images to work with, then there will be little or no result of the practice. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling, clench, and the mind is also goal-oriented and it likes to clear goals. And once it has one, it will do its best to implement that goal. So this is going into the new year, going into the times of holidays. Mind does not discriminate when it comes using anything positive or negative. So people who are in a negative form feeds that, and the mind will recreate that, right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Plank. Strong on the pelvic floor. Now very gently drop the knees, stretch the spine, palms facing up. So mind will support the energy of whatever it is. So yesterday I talked about the garden and planting the right seeds. And the mind will recreate the power of the growth, what you water. So if we can't really differentiate between negative seeds and positive seeds, but we have to ask the fact which seeds that we water. If you took the whole thing personally and become that sad person, then you are going to support the grief, abandonment, the abuse, or you will learn that part of the unconscious and create a positive connotation out of it, and you will move into that. Because your inner beliefs is much more stronger than anything. I mean, you can go into all depth of analysis. However, my experience is unconscious beliefs can affect the nature of what you have become. Now, palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into up face. Shoulders roll back, breathe out towards the down face. Head down, neck down, totally relax. Now very gently, left leg up into the back. Left knee to the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the crown. And very gently, arms stretch onto the shoulder heights. Bend the knee in the front. Hip square, shoulder square. Garudasana right on the top. Very gently soften into the space of the third eye. And very gently using the imagination if you have to use, but in a creative, positive way. Now very gently bending the knee, holding the Garudasana, bend the knee in the front a little bit more, twisting the spine onto the left, a little bit more, and very gently opening up the Garudasana and right reaching down and left reaching up. Now left arm reaching into the back and touch the floor. Bend the knee in the back, holding onto the front knee, shoulders relax and chest open. Opening up that hip and groin by moving the hip into the front and into the back. Now take a deep breath in, arms raise onto the ground. Very gently breathe out, spread the wings wider and bring those hands onto the right side. Now very gently push the hips back and into the front and very gently drop the elbows onto the right side. Use the benefit of a cushion or a block and very gently opening up that space that you're preoccupied in that space of holding. And very gently opening up that space. Very gently breathing into that harmonious way. Very gently take a deep breath in and walk those palms back into the space and very gently into a plank. Now very gently left knee onto the floor. Very gently right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Opening up that space a little bit more, overlooking to the right side. Very gently right reaching into the back and touch the floor. Drop the knee. Right arm going under the left armpit. Very gently opening up that space. Very gently observing the harmony in the emotional and mental and the practice of the spiritual sphere. And very gently allowing the breath to be noticed, body to be noticed, mind to be noticed. Now you can also observe the degree of the emotion that you're feeling that accompanies your thought. This can provide a major key to explain what is positive and negative. And when that thought of negativity comes, how do your body dramatically work with that? So when it's positive, the emotion that is generate the enthusiasm and the commitment. But when it's negative, it's fear. There's no hope. There is no trust. There is more separation. Breathing in very gently, coming back and breathe out into the space of a cat. Use the practice to influence your capacity for healing and the well-being. Breathing in, drop the belly, opening up, shoulders roll back, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the field of the endeavor. Breathe out, inner lock, navel lock, throat lock. Perseverance, persistence, companions of determination. Drop the belly, opening up, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the aim of the space of the Chitakasa. Neutral spine. Stretch the spine, palms facing up. Now, the emotion that fulfilled with a true delight of wanting to change, wanting to heal, can propel you to accomplish that if you're giving the feeling of that is being completed. So this is the time that we take a break from overwhelming of the busyness of this Christmas season and putting off and forgetting. And lead us into that chaos furthermore. But when that awareness is constantly remembered and rekindled, it will lead back to the life of joy. Preventing opposite of life and joy is illness if it has not arrived. So really, this is the time for you to spark and rekindle sparks into that radical healing. Understanding your need more fully and how to realize and how to develop and how to sustain is very important in anything that you choose in life. So you're training the mind in a way, and it will train the body to mimic the mind. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Drop the belly, soften the hips. Breathing in into a gentle cobra this time. I want you to bring that space so the right seeing into the right motive, and which is leading to the righteous movement, action. And very gently bring that unconditional level of love or understanding. So at this very moment, whatever you're working in the life, I want you to have the clarity and the state of clearly from a wisdom-based understanding of whatever the problem or whatever the issue may be, and very gently work with that space. And then will become the right move. Samma sati, samma kamma, samma ajiva. So now, with compassion for all, mind is in a state where it's commitment to the best outcome for all. It is not a bargain such as I will go back to this, I will go back to my work, I will go back to my job, I will go back to my religion. Compassion is the urge to help others to be free from suffering. And it will lead you to a level of commitment that is unconditional quality about it. And it can move into the devotion. A true spiritual devotion is unconditional. And it's uncomplicated. Relax the forehead onto the floor and very gently move. Take this moment to commit. Very gently coming into the understanding what we need in the world is that ethical, pure heartfelt devotion to the ethics. Clear energy behind that. Now the right movement will come to you because it's free from the stress of overreacting. It is free from the stress of underreacting. It's totally doing the right thing at the right time, doing what is required, but it has to be calmly determined. Now very gently bring those palms where the elbows are, breathing into an up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in, right leg up, right knee to the right chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow. Breathing in, stretch back, right foot into the front. Arm stretch into the back. Breathing in, arms raise onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Opening up onto the state of the shoulder heights. Garudasana, left on the top. Now there is a calm. You don't have to do all the postures. There is a grace. There is a heartwarming. And it is a very incredibly a gentle and a powerful place. Now take a deep breath in and you can twist the spine and open up the Garudasana by left reaching down, right reaching up. So now what of good that old-fashioned hate? What good of that old-fashioned greed? What good of that old-fashioned revenge? Right, reaching into the back, touch the floor. Holding onto the front knee, shoulders relax. Now it's very interesting, the practices. Now you can all observe the power that negative or destructive emotions have. Fuel in personal gain. Personality has triggered. If you see the world, you can see plenty of evidence that the anger, the greed, the revenge. But these all are very short-term gains. Perhaps if physical wealth was the only issue, these emotions would be lauded. Yet looking deeper, sad humans' cost of this rampant emotion is very heavy indeed. Arms raised onto the ground. Spread the wings and drop the hands onto the left side. Now very gently drop the elbows, walk those palms. Now in the Theravada Buddhism, the root cause of suffering is attachment, anger, pride and jealousy. All based on passions, which sooner or later it will backfire on us, on a heavy cost. So it is time to aspire that more altruistic, compassionate view. Now if you have dropped the elbows, very gently coming back. Palms onto the floor into a plank. Right knee onto the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. left reaching into the back, under the armpit, and dropping the left knee onto the floor. Now is the time for you to move further into the opening of the space of the heart. Shoulders relax and very gently your chest open. Now, in a field of healing, it seems to be emotion is more beneficial if it is stronger. But at least it's the short or medium term. Just observe the responding of resignation from the practice. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Breathe out into the space of the cat. Breathing into a space of the cow. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Knees wide apart. Stretch the spine into the back. Palms very gently facing up. Now, very gently coming into the understanding of what gives up that space of being. This kind of space is the key element of the path. Now, recognition of need to let go of the ego-based sense of control. And very gently allow the practice with all the confidence into the space of that reality. So you need to give a space for your emotions to be safe, come up without reaction. Without judgment. So that where our old methods, old habits no longer work. Now very gently waking up the spine one vertebra at a time. Shoulders relax and chest open. Lifting up onto the knees. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Right arm reaching onto the sacrum. Breathing in, left arm reaching up into the sacrum. Lift up. Make your kidneys more buoyant and the heart lift up. And very gently practicing into the Uttanasana. Push the hips forward. Open up that space of the throat without cutting the neck and the head. Breathe out towards the child pose. Very gently waking up the spine one vertebra at a time. Shoulders relax. Stretch the legs into the front. Shoulders relax, chest open. Pull up the buttocks, keep your spine straight. Arms raised onto the crown. Lengthen into roll forward. Now bend the knees if you are going to hunch your spine. Bend the knees if you're hunching the spine and support your chest onto it so that you don't do that. Now very gently take a deep breath in. Arms stretch into the front, lengthening to come up. Palms onto the floor, into the back, lifting up the pelvis and stretching the feet onto the floor. Higher as possible, higher as possible. Breathing in, coming back. Knees to the chest to complete, breathe out. Breathing in, arms raised onto the ground. Breathe out, knees to the chest. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breath out. Cross the legs and sit deeper. Twist the spine to the left. Twist the spine onto the other side. Back to the center. Or very gently taking that moment let your eyes gently relax. Remember, this is the time to bring the mind home, to relax, to let go. Or very gently bring that space of the feet. Feel what they are in this very moment. You may now contract the muscle of the feet and feel the tension. And breathe out, let them gently go. Feel what is gently going means to you as a feeling, where the muscle is relaxed, when the muscle is soft, when the muscle is loose. When muscle is felt deeply, completely, more and more. Take a deep breath in, the calves, contract the muscle of the calf and breathe out and let them go. Feel any tension relaxing, not preoccupied by what's going on. Soft and loose. Feel it deeply. It is a good feeling. Is it a natural feeling? Feel the letting go. Take a deep breath in. Feel the thighs. Contract the thighs. Breath out, let them go. The legs feel warm and heavy. Legs feel soft and loose, more and more letting go. Buttocks, contract the muscles of the buttocks and let them go deeply, completely. Feel it all through the pelvis and around. Hips. Sometimes it helps to imagine as if a belt or a band around the hips has just been loosened a little. Relaxing and releasing those hips and letting go. Now the tummy. If you're already having the contraction of the muscle, breathe out and let them go. Feel deeply, calmly, and relax completely. Feel all the more and more letting go. Feel that something is taken away from that, a belt that tightening the stomach. The chest. Feel it all through the chest. Now just allow the breath to take whatever the rhythm it feels like comfortable for you in this very moment, effortlessly. Effortlessly. It is a good feeling. Feel letting go. Take a deep breath in, arms, contract the muscles and let them go. Hands particularly. You might feel the warmth and the tingle flowing into your hands. Perhaps tightness. Perhaps lightness. Almost like they could be floating, just going with it. Letting go. Shoulders, contract the muscle. Breathe out, let them go. Feel the shoulders drop a little bit. Feel it deeply more and more. Deeper and deeper letting it go. Jaw, contract the muscle and let them go. Feel the jaw drop a little bit, tongue fall back. Feeling the jaw deeply. Calm and relax. The tongue is soft and loose. Feeling it up over the nose, through the cheeks. Feel it deeply and completely. Now the eyes. Contract the muscle of the eyes. I'll let them go. Feel it deeply. All through the eyes, almost like the eyes are floating in the socket. The temples soft and loose. Feel it around the ears, back of the head, up over the top of the head. Calm and relax. Calm and relax. Simply going with it. Letting go. Simply letting go. Now the forehead. Contract the muscles and let them go. Feel the forehead smoothing out. Calm and relax. Feel it all through the body and the mind. Deeply, completely, more and more. Deeper and deeper. Letting go effortlessly. Letting go effortlessly. Deeper, completely letting go. Letting go. Rest quietly now for a few. Letting go. Now very gently taking a deep breath in. Arms very gently raised onto the ground, cleansing the space and the aura of your practice. Palms onto the Namaskar position in your self-realization and your participation. Not 100%, whatever the participation was. And celebrating if it was even a fraction of a second. Touch the earth. Respect for the Mother Earth, biological forms, matriarch forms, patriarch forms, and the forms of manifestation, creation, preservation, and destruction, the things that has manifested. And maybe it's time for you to let them go, release them, giving them that sacred space of it has served the purpose and no longer you can carry it. Gently waking up the spine, one vertebra at a time. Palms onto the self-realization. And if there was a mudra on physical form of your gratitude. Namaste.